confidence is massively boosted ahead of the Manchester City games, because we coming from a chaotic win over Tottenham, who was unbeaten, and now everything is just falling apart for them. They even lost to Wolves today, so that is fantastic news to hear. And now we're facing our biggest challenge of the season, and that is Guardiola's Manchester City. And usually it suits us to play against these sort of opponents that play with a high line, that has many players attacking in the final third, because that means we can exploit the spaces behind the high line with our fast players, and we got players that has a incredible passing and accurate rate. The thing is that Manchester City is simply different from every team in this world at this moment. There is a reason why they are the best team, and a couple of facts to that is that we haven't won or even scored a goal against them in the last 6 meetings. The last time we won was in the Champions League final with Thomas Tuchel in charge, and I honestly miss him every day. But that's not gonna help the situation at the moment. We have to look forward and believe in Pochettino. And another fact is that even though Manchester City has Haaland, who is the best striker in the world and has scored millions of goals so far, they put 6 goals past Bournemouth in their last victory, and Haaland wasn't even on the score sheet. And we Chelsea fans is celebrating like crazy when we just scoring 1 goal, because our biggest problem is in the final third and being clinical, and we seeing that every single game now. Now, we scored 4 goals against Tottenham, but if you actually look at the game, we didn't really play that well. It was moreover that Tottenham gave us that victory. So in this game, we have to show up even further. Every player needs to play to the best abilities with confidence. We need sharpness and quick thinking out there, because what City does really, really well is they will suffer you with the ball and without the ball. And the few occasions when you're getting the ball, they will win it straight back. They will force mistakes, and then they're taking advantage of that as well. They will have multiple players inside the box. They will interchange positions. And even if you're defending with 3 double-decker buses in front of goal, they will sooner rather than later find the chances to score the goals, no matter how much you're trying to defend for your life. So that's why we also have to be brave and go against them when we can. And I, to some extent, feel this game might be impossible to win, but that's not a good mindset to have either. And that's for on Pochettino's side, where he mentioned in his press conference how important mentality is, and he mentioned that he has a belief in his players that we have to go in and win every single game, no matter who we are facing. And I absolutely agree on that, because if you have that mentality sorted out, you can accomplish anything. And if the players has that confidence tomorrow, there's nothing stopping us to getting a 3 points victory at home at Stamford Bridge over a possible, almost impossible Manchester City side to beat. But what we also have to do is taking advantage of our strength in this team. We have players that is fantastic in terms of passing the ball, creating triangles, moving into spaces, going behind the back line. The thing that is missing, that we all know, is the final third consistency, because we're so inconsistent there. And tactically wise, what we can do against City is when we are winning back the ball and when City is looking to press you high, Pochettino needs to figure out where those spaces is left by City, and we have to have players moving into those spaces so we can then go on dangerous counterattacks. And it's also difficult to play long balls against City, because they're playing with 3 centre-backs who is really strong, tall, good in the air. So therefore, I will like to see a more direct counter-attacking approach with like short passes, not trying to play long balls unless the spaces is obviously there to play long balls. So try to create triangles on counterattacks, be quick, moving into spaces, and then try to find our fast forwards behind Manchester City's high line. And honestly, the only thing that can stop us tomorrow is that we're not taking the few chances we are getting, and we're making mistakes that City is taking advantage of. Otherwise, I think we really have a fair chance. So let's get then into my predicted lineup and who I would start. Then I would like to see the same lineup, we used against Tottenham, but I have been thinking maybe we should change something up too. Maybe we should be a little bit more brave against City, and this is where I have like two ideas crossing my mind. I can't decide if I'm gonna pick this lineup or that lineup. So I have come to a conclusion. We continue with the same lineup like we did against Tottenham. Sanchez in goal, we have James, Disasi coming in now, Silva, Colwill as that left back. So we're having 3 centre backs because it will be very difficult if we're only having 2 centre backs against a City side who is so good in the final third. And Cucurella still got mistakes in him. I mean, if he starts, I wouldn't be against that either. And in the midfield, I will continue with Gallagher, Caicedo, Enzo. Up front, we have Cole Palmer on the right-hand side, Sterling on the left-hand side, and Jackson up front. The thing I would like to change if it doesn't work, and we are under 1-0, 2-0 in half-time, that's where I would like Pochettino to change something up, because then it clearly doesn't work, what we are doing. Maybe we could shift into a 4-2-3-1 in the second half. We're taking out the Sassi, so Silva and Colwill will be the 2 centre-back pairing. We're taking Cucurella as a left-back or Ian Matsen, who is better offensively. Then we're taking out one of our midfielders. Maybe it's going to be Gallagher, Enzo, Caicedo. And we're bringing on a winger in Mudryk. And we're playing Mudryk on the left-hand side, Sterling on the right-hand side, Palmer in the middle, Jackson up front. We're having a pivot, we're having 2 natural fullbacks going forward, and trying to go against City, because if we are down 1-0, 2-0 in half time, we have to try be brave and change something up and be more attacking. So that's what I would like to change if possible. Now let me know which lineup you would prefer, what formation you would prefer, who would you like to see there, etc. And hopefully in terms of Nkunku Lavia, they are soon back, because they have been injured out for long, but they are close to be playing and starting for us soon. So the players that will be key for us against City is obviously Cole Palmer, because he has been so good for us lately and he can make the difference. And Guardiola mentioned that the only reason he left was the lack of game time, but you can see he has been trained on the Guardiola side. So Palmer can make the difference. We need a Sterling and Jackson that is showing up in the final third. Will massively help us with Caicedo and Enzo's dangerous passes. We got Gallagher, who will be running like a Kanté and do some madness against City's defense. We facing Kovacic now, and we know that Kovacic have mistakes in him. Maybe have Gallagher pressing a bit extra on him. In terms of the back line, James looking a bit more sharper. He should be ready to start now against City. He's someone that can absolutely make a difference for us as well. Is he going to face Doku, Foden or Grealish on that left-hand side? We have to wait and see for that. And Thiago Silva, Disasi, Colwill helping each other there in the back line in our own box. What's also good by having 3 centre-backs is that we can match and mark their 3 centre-backs on set pieces. It also hires our chances to maybe get a lucky goal from set pieces from a Thiago Silva, Disasi header or something. If we taking the lead tomorrow, we definitely going to have a confidence boosted, and I think then the game could go in our favor. So it's important we're scoring the first goal as well. In terms of a score prediction, I can't come here and say we're gonna lose, because I honestly believe in our players. The thing that is missing is inconsistency, but that is normal because we're having young players that is inexperienced, and We are in a process, and that's the matter of fact. But that's not going to be an excuse for us to not give all out there and give and show up a real performance there. So my score prediction is actually going to be, I think we can actually get a 2-1 victory over Manchester City, because when we are throwing goal with our fast forwards, and if they are clinical, City will have trouble facing them. If we making mistakes, if we showing up like we did against Spurs, we can forget about this game. But if we're playing like we did in those 75 minutes against Arsenal, that's the sort of performance I want to see, because then I believe we can get something out of this game. So if you have made it all the way until this video, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell down below so you never miss when I upload. And surely we can do the impossible.